But right now, me and my girlfriend, we are living in a bus. We drove from California to what is it, Costa Rica. We broke down here and I drove through the river. Like everyone drives through a river here, but I went way too quick, destroyed our motor, and no one in Costa Rica wanted to work on it. So we were fucking stranded. And
Oh my God.
eventually I had to fly home, sell my motorcycle, buy a new bus. Um, and then we just took the conversion from our old bus and put it into this new one, but we can't stand in it. And like while we were converting the bus, we were basically living in front of this random guy's house, and he ended up hating us. It's a really long, fucked up story, but he
Wait,
ended up not
what?
yeah, this
So
is
did
like
you
the
know this
beginning.
guy before, or did you just park that bus?
No, we parked at a restaurant, and we this was like 2 3 days after we broke down trying to figure out our life, because again, like we were getting estimates to fix our bus for like $7,000. I was like, I bought the bus for $2,500, so I'm not putting 7 G's into a bus. That's not worth it. And so like we're like in this bus bumming Wi-Fi from a restaurant, so we're just in the bus chilling, and this guy knocks on the window and he's like, hey, I see you're from California, blah, blah, blah. Me and my girlfriend were like not in the mood to chit chat. We're just like, yeah, what's up? Like, this is not the day to try to be nice or whatever. But he was really persistent. He's like, yeah, I drove from Texas in my Honda, and yeah, I can really relate with you guys. And then we told him, I was like, yeah, we did the drive, blah, blah, blah. We just broke our vehicle, and we're just trying to figure out our lives right now. And he's like, if you want to come to my house, you can use our Wi-Fi, feel free. I really, I just want to help you guys. And we're just like, no, we're good. And then he offered us a job to do a work away. And we're just like, no, we got our own little business we're trying to work on. We don't have time for that. And we kind of just like, what is it? We didn't take the offer.
Hmm.
And he was texting us like, guys, you can always come to our house, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Wi-Fi or whatever, my doors are open. And we finally gave in like a couple of days later, like, all right, we need Wi-Fi. We're tired of going to cafes or bumming Wi-Fi in our hot ass bus. So we go to his house, and he's super nice to us. And it just got weird after that. Like we were chilling in his house. He was super accommodating, and we appreciated it because again, we have a broken bus. It's our home, and we're kind of stranded. And so we're online. I'm trying to sell my motorcycle before I fly back to the States and get the money for it or whatever. And we're having conversations with him, and it just gets so weird. Like mid conversation, he's like, yeah, Trump was the best president we ever had. And I'm just like, it instantly got awkward. And my girlfriend's German, she's white, but she is very woke, and she is not with, like, I'm afraid to speak up when shit gets awkward. I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna come back here again. But she's like, what do you mean he was the best president? Like she's like instantly backing me up. And he thinks like Black Lives Matter is a terrorism group. And he was just going down this rabbit hole, and I was like feeling so uncomfortable in his house. And he's like sexist. He's um the story goes like this. I fly back home, and my girlfriend is still parked in front of his house. Like we just kind of
Oh
like
man.
nurtured the relationship, because even though he said some controversial shit, he was still really nice. And it was like, fuck, like we don't know, we don't have the money to get her an Airbnb. So she stayed in our bus, but like just in range to use the Wi-Fi. So we're outside of his property. And they actually had like a nice relationship minus politics, and really like this, if you keep religion and politics out, he was okay to be around. But their relationship started getting weird because he expected to for her to do everything. And I'll give like a couple examples. Like while I was gone selling the motorcycle to buy this bus that I'm in right now, he would like they would cook together and just like have conversations. And basically he would leave his house a mess and expect her to clean it. So like when they would cook together, she would clean her dishes, whatever. And he would never clean his dishes. So she was nice enough to clean all of his dishes. And he would still go around the house complaining, like, you know, if you're a guest in my house, you should leave it better than I left it. And she's like, of course, that's why I'm cleaning your dishes. I'm cleaning up, blah, blah, blah. But he was the type of person, he's like, no, like you need to do above and beyond. Like he wanted her to mop the floors, clean every single dish that he's touched. He wanted her to grab, it was like so beyond like beyond my head, because he ran an Airbnb, so he has customers coming over, so he would cook breakfast for his Airbnb guests, and he was expecting her to clean it. But he already offered his doors open. He's like, you know, anything you need, blah blah blah. We were just there for the Wi-Fi, and they would have coffee together while I was gone. But he wanted her to do all his work, like that's his Airbnb. And so meanwhile, I come back, and there's this weird tension where he wouldn't look at her, he wouldn't address her. He would always um like if he needed something from us, he would only talk to me. Like if she's right here, he would only look at me. He never looked at her after that, all because of he wanted her to do above and beyond. And we're already thinking, like, you invited us to your house, you said, you know, we're already cleaning up after ourselves, like there's no track of us even there. But he wants maids, he wants people who are workaways. It was really weird. Like we never signed up for anything. You came off like you're this nice guy, and through the week that I was gone, everything unraveled. So now we're trying to convert a bus. So when I come back, we have the money to buy this bus that I'm in right now. And the mood is like, we have nowhere else to convert this bus. Like he has electricity, so we can use our power
Oh
tools to build this bus.
no.
And man, it was the worst experience ever, because if you know anything about bus conversions, it's a little bit of a messy job. I'm ripping out the seats from this bus, I'm ripping out the panels. We're using a lot of we have a bunch of trash bags because we're cleaning up the bus. And he told us we couldn't use the trash can, even though like the trash can isn't in his house, it's like a public trash can. But like he started an argument with us. He's like, you know, when you fill up my trash can, I don't know where to put my trash. I was just like, bro, put it around the trash can. Like there's still plenty of space to use it. And I was like, it's a community trash can. And when these like what is it? The dump truck will pick up whatever. Anyways, he was starting to nitpick, like, all right, don't overuse my trash can. Don't work past 9 o'clock, I can't sleep or whatever. And I was like, we're outside the house, so we even parked further back, but he was finding reasons to complain. And then we were using his electricity, because I mean, if I'm going to use a saw, I need to plug it in somewhere. And he multiple times, even after it was awkward, he's like, you know, if you need my power, feel free to use it. He was really bipolar, like very friendly, but then he would hold it against you, like, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So we're converting the bus, and one day he shuts off the power. And I already knew, I was like, fuck, there's going to be a confrontation. And I'm like the
Oh.
last one that wants to argue with somebody. And this is like mid conversion. So the kitchen isn't built yet. Like we're just installing the floors. And we have this conversation, and he's his reaction is so weird. I actually recorded the whole conversation. He's like, there's three people in this world that made me lose faith in humanity. You guys are one. And we were laughing because we're two people. He's like, well, you're one group of people, and then these two other people. And he's basically saying that he hates Americans for coming to Costa Rica because like we're driving up the prices of Costa Rica. I was like, bro, you live off of tourism. You have an Airbnb and like your last Airbnb person was American. So I was like, you don't like us coming here, but you're making money off of it. Anyways, he shuts off the power, saying that we have no respect and that we're using him. And basically he wanted to charge us for every single day that we were there. I was like, bro, I'm not paying you. We never had a contract or anything. And you said that you didn't mind us being outside. You offered the electricity. So it's like, you can't give us something, and then all of a sudden, now that you don't like us, you want to charge us. I was like, maybe from this day on, you can charge us. And it was really bad. So we were rushing this conversion. Like it took us 2 weeks to build it. And like I made so many little mistakes in this bus, because like, again, every day we're living outside of a guy who really doesn't like us. If my girlfriend was here, she would have more details to explain because the dude was really trippy. Anyways, after that experience, we um, basically explored all Costa Rica. We've been here for 7 months, and it is just Costa Rica has been a roller coaster. Like when we started from California through Mexico, it was like it was everything YouTube kind of made it to be. Like van life is really fucking amazing. Like you can any place can be your home. Like Baja California was amazing. You just park in this like empty beach. You have the whole beach to yourself, and that's like wherever you park is home. So like we really loved it. Drove through Mexico. I drive with fear. Like I'm like I don't want to argue with nobody. Like in Mexico, I was like they could be the fucking cartel. Nobody taking us. Like no. But really Mexico was cool. Every country, Guatemala was amazing. El Salvador, like all these places where I thought they would be tough was really not that bad. And actually there's so much to see. But once we got to Costa Rica, we were kind of rushing to get here. Like we wanted to get to Costa Rica, and it has been a roller coaster. Like we've been robbed twice.
Oh my
We
god.
just we got attacked fucking, I think about a week ago, maybe a little bit more. Like when I say attacked, like somebody was on top of our roof, banging on the side of the doors. And we jump out with the machete eventually, and there's like smoke coming from our roof. Costa Rica has been a fucking, like, we're trying to get the hell out of here, basically. It's
Okay, wait, what happened?
yeah.
So where are you parked? Where do you guys park normally?
We usually boondock, meaning like you don't pay to park. You like pull up on a beach, and that's where you're living for the time being. And we usually have this thing where you just keep moving. Like every couple of days, you find a new place to park, because if you sit in a spot too long, like people out here are watching. So like our bus is Costa Rican, and they're tinted windows, so you can't tell who's driving. So no one knows any better. But the moment we open our door, you can tell it's a camper. Like we're fucking camping. And like people are watching out here. Like the crime, like the petty crime and just crime in general is a thing that nobody talks about. You think Costa Rica's Puta Vida, but fuck that. It's not.
What do
It's
you
some
think?
other shit.
What do you think the crime is about? Like, is it just robbery, curiosity? Are they just like against
No,
outsiders?
there's a full on business on robbing tourists.
Really?
Dead ass. Like if the moment you leave anything, they already like you pull up, they know you're tourist. And they
Mm-hmm.
know you're thinking Costa Rica's so relaxed, Puta Vida, and you let your guard down. We let our guard down here, and we're never doing that shit again, because if you leave anything on the beach, like let's just say you and your bros or your girlfriend, you guys go to the beach. You both can't be in the water at the same time. Like somebody has to be watching their shit. And then when I tell people that, they're like, "Well, you should always do that." But I was like, if you're at an empty beach and you can't leave your shit and go into the water like within like 20 feet without that shit getting stolen, then that says something about the country. Because legit, we were parked in this area, it's called Samara, and I noticed there was like a lot of traffic. When I say that, I mean like locals walking back and forth, and they're
Mm-hmm.
coming out of the fucking bushes. Like it was weird. I was like, so I already looking at, I got another story for you too, but anyways, there's like an industry where people like robbers or like criminals will be fucking chilling in the bushes, and they're waiting for you to put your guard down. So like it, for example, these two girls were on the beach. They go into the water, they're not deep into the water, and they come back and their shit was stolen. And they come up to us and they're like, "Have you seen anybody with with any bags?" I was like, "I mean, we're at the beach. I don't know who's who, right?" So I
Yeah.
was like, "No, I can't help you." And they were just like, "We just went into the water for like a couple seconds, and they turned around, their stuff was gone." And what happened was they put their stuff like halfway into the beach, meaning like bushes, the middle of the beach, the water. And they ran out in the bushes and stole their shit. And they had like their phone, the keys to the Airbnb, their wallet, like all gone. And like I realized something, like these people that are watching go by, like they were the fucking robbers the whole time. We were parked, and I would see them walk past our bus and go into a different set of bushes empty-handed and then come back out with a random bag. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's like one person robs it, puts it in the bushes, and then goes about their day, and then another person picks up the supplies. So
Oh my
that,
God.
yeah, it seems very calculated in time, because one day this guy walks past our bus and my dog is always sleeping under the bus. Like when we're at the beach, at least he's always under the bus. It's so hot. And this guy walked too close to our bus, and my dog Bruno starts growling. And when he growls, I'm just like, who's around, whatever. And I'm like looking at these two kids, like, why are they so close to the fucking bus? Like, if you're gonna walk by, like, it looked like as if they were trying to look into the windows. But once they seen Bruno, they back up. One guy splits off into the bushes to who knows where the fuck. And then the other guy that got scared of my dog was, let's just say this is the bus parked. He was sitting probably 20 feet behind it. So I was sitting down and I was looking at him, and I can see him looking at my dog and then looking for his friend. Like, so his friend was getting something, probably a stolen bag of shit. And obviously my dog scared him. So when he walked by our bus on his way out, so here's the bus that came this way. One guy is sitting here chilling, waiting for his homie to come back. And then they both walk by the bus again. And this dude fucking looked at me and had a hand knife like this. And he was making eye contact with me. Like, it was like dead ass, like, I'll fucking stab you type of shit. And it was more probably that my dog scared him, but he was looking at me like that. And I was just like, I was looking at him. We were not breaking eye contact. So as he's walking away, looking back at me with this fucking knife, very like angry, I'm looking at him like, don't come over here with that shit. Like, there's no time, because I seen him later on in the day, and I had my machete like, bro, don't slide this way, because that little knife ain't nothing on this thing. Like, and my girlfriend, like, when we sit at the beach now, we have a machete and then an axe.
Oh my God.
And it's a shame. That's how we're camping out here. I feel like we're in a fucking movie.
It's like a horror film, dude.
Yeah. I feel like I'm ready to roll at all times. But it was so funny. We did our first vlog, and literally in the first vlog, it was like within a 3-day span, because I don't know, we're trying to do, our life out here is so wild. I was like, why not like get on YouTube? So what happened? We do it like a 3-day span of trying to vlog. And on the last day, we pull up to this beach, and there's a family that they definitely look like from the States, probably from the South, I'll put it like that. And they're looking at us, and I can tell they're being like interested, like, oh, that's probably an RV. And then I open up the door and they're like, oh, it's a camper. You can just hear them talking. Yeah. And eventually we have some sort of interaction. They're like, oh yeah, my sister does van life too, and that's really cool what you're doing. It's like, yeah, thanks, blah blah blah. And they end up leaving their car. So they were sitting around their car, like 4 chairs, just drinking some beers next to the rental car. And then they leave to go to the beach to watch the sunset. Oh. And they were only gone for like 10 minutes. The dude comes back to check his car. His car was his wallet and his phone were robbed. What? And the person who robbed the car did a sloppy job and left their scarf. They had a scarf and they left it in the car. So he's fucking panicking, like, where the fuck is my wallet? He asked me. And I got this feeling like, I wonder if he thought it was me, but I was just like, I'm naturally overly nice. I just want to help. Sometimes it isn't always good to be like that with certain people, because I got this feeling he thought it was me. I was like, bro, I was chilling. Like, I didn't see anything. Anyways, he's running around with him and I think his girlfriend had the scarf. Like, who the fuck scarf is this? Because they're definitely were the one that robbed their car. And they're tripping, like, oh, we need to go to the police, blah, blah, blah. And I was just laughing. I was like, bro, welcome to Costa Rica. Like, this shit's regular. Like, they got you. And the sad thing is, you can't leave any of your valuables in the car, nor leave them at the beach, because either way, they might get stolen. Of course, you may have friends who have been to Costa Rica and nothing's happened, but like, this shit is very frequent where you can't take it to the beach. Or if you do take it to the beach like we do, one person has the shit on them at all time. Like, we're not both in the water unless we got a group of people who, you need somebody watching your shit all the time. So anyways, like in the fucking vlog, I recorded, I was like, see, Costa Rica, it happened again. You can't leave nothing in the car. You can't leave nothing on the beach. And I made this joke like, don't try us. Don't try us. You know, it was fake tough talk. And literally later that day, we had our scariest encounter by far. Because again, when you're camped at the beach and there's no one around, you don't expect anything. So your guard's down, you feel like, you know,
Yeah.
it feels like home, right? Like eventually when you live in a van, like a place feels like home. And we have blacked out windows. You can't see in our bus. And the good thing about it, in the day, you can't look in, but I can see you. At night, it works against us. The moment I turn on the lights, you can see me in the bus and I cannot see anything outside. And that's what scares me about window tints. Like we need fucking curtains. Anyways, me and my girlfriend were sitting on this couch right here. And then I wanted to do the dishes so we can start dinner. Actually, we had 2 hot plates on. So like we're boiling water, we're boiling potatoes. And anyways, I was about to do the dishes. And what happened? So I go to the sink, and right when I turn on the lights, I walk to the sink, and all of a sudden we hear this like banging on the window, but like going from the front all the way to the back.
Holy
And
shit.
like when you're by yourself and you hear some shit like that, you feel like you're already about to get attacked. Like it with our experience in Costa Rica, it was instantly like shut the lights off. My girlfriend slams the front door shut like real quick. And then I run up to the front to lock. I think she locked the door, but I start shutting all the windows because at this point, when they're banging on the window, they could have put their hand through the window. They could have jumped in. Because we read
Jesus.
reviews where there's armed robberies. Like that shit happens here.
Why'd you
Plenty,
turn off
like
the lights?
so that they can't see us anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
Because there's tinted windows. And again, we can't see out when the lights are on, but they can see us. But the moment I turn off the lights, our eyes can dilate and we can kind of see the shadows outside. So I run to the back of our bed. And I'm like, who the fuck is it? I was really silent because I want to know, like, are they just a bunch of drunk dudes trying to be scary or whatever? Like, all right, whatever. But we're already kind of making the decision, like, all right, we're gonna get the fuck out of here, because at the end of the day, being a hero is not it. Like, you don't know, like people got guns out here, people got knives. You've got 5 dudes out here, you're done. Like, it's not happening. Like, our main rule is like, if something gets scary, we drive off. But anyways, we're on the bed, peeking out the curtains out the window, and I see like 6, 7 people around a bonfire, just like heads moving around, but all you can see is the shadows. And I was like, man, these dumb drunk motherfuckers, like trying to, like somebody's trying to impress somebody and trying to scare us. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna get up out of here. And we had to put our hot food into the sink. All of a sudden, while we're still on the bed, like discussing our plan, somebody is on the fucking roof. And it wasn't like it was like boop boop. It sounded like someone took their fucking fist and is bow, bow, bow. Instantly, we were fucking like scared, like, all right, yo, what the fuck? And then we start screaming, like, get the fuck off the roof. Like, we both started screaming. It was really funny how we were like really getting hyped. But it was like, all right, we getting the hell out of here. Threw the hot food into the sink, trying to be careful. I mean, the pots are hot. You're like, trying to move that shit to the sink. And I was like, yo, fuck this guy. I start the bus. My girlfriend's handling the back. Like, because when you live in a van, nothing's in place. Like, it's such a small place that unless you put everything away, if that makes sense, shit falls over, shit can break.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend's holding on to the shit. And I start the bus. I slam in reverse real quick and hit the brakes. So it's like, and I'm driving forward, back, and I can still hear this dude on the fucking roof. And it's just boom, boom. And I'm thinking they're trying to break the solar panel. So it's like, we got to do something fucking sap. And so where we were parked, there's a bunch of low hanging trees. So I drove right through the trees. Like, I was like, if this dude can survive this, he's a legend. But after we drove through the trees, we didn't hear no more. Now, he could have jumped off because he probably seen the big ass low hanging tree. Or he got hit by the tree and like really rolled up off. We don't know. And then what is it? Like, the first thing we did was we found like a well-lit area to pull over, because I was like, if this guy's still on the roof, like, we about to get busy, because we're so fed up with Costa Rica that we're now angry. Like, if you try to do some shit, like, I don't know. So we pull up to this restaurant, And my girlfriend hands me the fucking machete, like, let's do this, like, let's get it. And like, I had this hesitation. I was like, wait, we really about to get about the bus and get serious? But then I was like, nah, fuck it, let's go. Like, I had that little hesitation. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the man around the house. And I jump out, and I have the machete, like, who the fuck is on the bus in front of a restaurant? So people see this black dude with a machete, and they're like, ah, here we go. Anyways, I get out the bus, and I'm like running around, and I instantly see smoke coming from the fucking roof. Like, it wasn't from our bus. It wasn't from the brakes, the engine. No, it was smoke, and you could smell it. And like, the thought goes through our head, but we kind of skip by it to see, like, where the fuck is this guy? Of course, they were nowhere to be found. I go into the restaurant. I was like, yo, where's the police station? And it's so funny. This girl was helping me. She's like, all right, let me help you. And she never asked why, like, I needed the police. I just thought it was so weird how she was just like helpful, but wasn't curious. I was like, anyways, it was just a thought. We drive to the police station, which is literally the next building from the restaurant. So if you walk, like, where we pulled out to jump and confront this guy to where we left, we're talking 30 to 40 feet.
What?
That's how close everything was. Like, we were in a safe area. We go to the police, and I'm trying to speak in Spanish. I know, like, my Spanish is awful, but I held up. I had this conversation with this fucking cop, and they pull out an English speaker, and I tell him again this whole story. I was like, yo, bro, go to this fucking bonfire right over there. They just tried to attack us. Like, let's go do something. And he just kind of laughed and like, man, those people are crazy. I was like, what do you mean they're crazy? Go arrest somebody. Like, go investigate, do something. And he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. And he's like, all right, we're going to call in some backup. They'll be there in 30 minutes. I was like, bro, 30 minutes is too long. Like, you're literally 30, 40 feet away. Like get in your fucking car or walk and do something. And like, that's a bit like one of my gripes in Costa Rica is they're just way too laid back. Like, you can get away with anything out here. And eventually nothing happened. And so we're like, we're going to get the hell out of this town. So we parked in front of the police station. We ate our food. And then my girlfriend's like, no, let's go back and see what they actually did. It was about like 40 minutes to an hour later. We pull up, and there was this white car there. And I see a broken window, and I go up to the dude. I was like, you speak English? He's like, yeah. I was like, yo, what happened? He's like, man, I was just parked over there, basically near the bonfire where we were. And these people threw fucking rocks through the back of his window, and it almost hit his head. He's like, it flew right by his head. And at first, the first rock, he didn't know what was going on. He thought it was a coconut. I mean, there's a bunch of palm trees. Coconuts really do drop like that. But as he was going to get out, another rock flew through and busted the whole window. And then he gets out with his light. And by the time he got out, they were gone. And it was literally the same area we're parked in. So our reaction to leave was like the right reaction, because we can't afford a broken window right now, nor being attacked by a rock. And the police did nothing again. So we got the hell out of there. And that was our craziest story. Like, it's so funny when we explain it, we're sarcastic and we laugh because it's kind of funny. But in the moment, we were scared for like our life, like for a second. Because you don't expect that shit. You don't expect that shit. Mm-mm.
And it's crazy that the law enforcement is like inexistent.
Weak sauce. They're nobody out here.
Like,
and we got robbed on.
What do you think that is? Like, why is there's no backbone to the law enforcement?
Yeah, there definitely is no backbone. I don't know the reason why. I think maybe police are afraid to do their fucking job. It's what the feeling I got, because I don't know who I was talking to, but that was kind of like the message I got from the whole conversation was a lot of these people are young cops who don't have the proper training to do that type of work, because we got robbed in September by a guy that seen our bus on TikTok.
What?
So, yeah. And then on New Year's, we got robbed by a local who the police fucking knew, and they had a photo of this guy, and they still did nothing. And so he's a known robber, robbing people, and he's still on the streets. I was like, so you guys know this guy, and you guys are the tourist police. you know this guy's robbing tourists and you're not doing shit about it. And so like my faith in like Costa Rica police are just nothing right now. Like it's horrible. I lost every single electronic I've ever owned.
Oh my
Camera for like vlogging, drone, my girlfriend's camera, a whole bunch of electronics. Just everything I ever owned was stolen in Costa Rica.
Holy shit.
That's a fact.
What's the tourist police versus the regular police?
I think there's two types of police. Like OJI is like the investigation unit for like murder. They sent us to OJI, which when I got my iPad stolen, we had the location. It was like find my iPad, but we had the location. We gave them the information. They took fingerprints off the bus, and they did fucking nothing. And they're supposed to be like the FBI of Costa Rica, but they're just weak sauce. I could do it. Me and my girlfriend could have rolled up to this address and got our shit back if we were brave enough, but we found out where we got. Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's not happening again because they stole everything. So don't rob me no more. You can't get anything. There's nothing to take.
You just put a sign out.
And we're broke. Don't rob us or be disappointed. Some shit like that.
Holy shit, man! So you had the works in Costa Rica.
Oh, we got worked. We got worked.
So how are you trying to get out?
I mean, when I crashed the bus, it cost us a lot of money, minus like me selling my motorcycle. Like it financially fucked us up on this trip. And then like we've been living like day to day trying to figure out how to get money. And also to make a point, when we drove here, we loved van life so much that we burned through our savings that we were just like, we're not going to turn around. We're just going to figure it out. And like lately, these past couple months, it's been like dollar, like not dollar to dollar, but like every other day, we're trying to figure out how to get some money to survive, like to buy food and all that. Like we're not hungry or anything. Like we eat good, but we can't travel like we used to. So like now we're in a situation where we don't have a lot of money and we are trying to get to Panama, but money's tight. Like we got to buy a tire for our bus. We have to get the PCR test, which for two people could be up to $240 to cross the border. Yeah. You got to, that's one thing that sucks about driving through land borders is, I mean, each country may require something different. So like Guatemala, you needed the antigen test. El Salvador or I think Nicaragua, you needed the PCR test, and like that's a couple $100. Like,
and they aren't just free like they're in the States.
No, definitely not. $100 or $120 in certain places for a PCR. So like we need to save up money to do the PCR to get a tire. And in Panama, every country makes it difficult when you travel with a pet. And basically they want to charge $150 for who knows what for a pet. So we're gonna try to like slide them through, and it just is a little like money we really don't have, but we're trying to get the hell out and like by like next week. And we're also waiting for a package, and that's like really why we're here, because we have a travel brand called Travel to Stay Sane. We're full-time travelers. We make merch, but trying to have a clothing business and getting your clothes to a different country is like a whole different obstacle that you got to go through.
So why do you need the clothes?
The best way to like advertise and market is to have your shit on actual people
wearing it all the time.
Yeah, and trying to advertise for yourself. Like that's the way to do it with a small business.
And what's the company called?
Travel to Stay Sane.
Travel to Stay Sane. Okay.
Yeah.
How long you been doing that for?
We started in August 2020, and then I'm losing my thought. We kept going through situations where the production was not printing good quality, and so we would produce some clothes, get some we would get some samples, and some would be good, some would be not. And then we were trying to be like fully eco-friendly. We went to a different company, and the production wasn't so good. But we after like a year and a half of like playing around, we finally found a company that prints really good and can produce our stuff. And we're still able to be traveling. Like we don't need to be back home printing the stuff ourselves. Like they can do it
Gotcha.
for us. So yeah, so we literally just want to have a good brand and not just sell shirts to make money. Like
Mm,
the rest, yeah.
I mean, and then you'll make a lot more money if you have a good brand. So
Yeah, let's roll.
yeah,
Trying
let's roll, man.
to manifest it.
Do it, man. That'd be freaking awesome. How much, like,
Appreciate it.
what's your income? Like, what's your like income little pie chart look like right now? You know, like how much is merch? How much is social media? How much is odd jobs? How much is random whatever the hell you can find? Like,
It's really small right now. So I before we left Mexico, I was really into trying to drop ship like through Facebook Marketplace, and it was working really nicely. I was like, if I scale this, I'm gonna make a decent amount of money. But Facebook drop shipping stopped working outside of Mexico because you need a VPN, but Facebook always knows where you are. And that's like when you take a product from Walmart, Home Depot, you sell it on Facebook for more money. Like people are doing that. Like even
mhm.
shit on Amazon is drop shipped in so many ways. Like people are buying it from Alibaba or AliExpress and then they just fucking put it on Amazon and they're making money. Like it's so crazy once you learn about like the drop shipping formula, or you realize like you can get it for so much cheaper and like you could just see how people are making money. And basically I was doing that, and then once I left Mexico, Facebook, like I wasn't able to drop ship anymore. They seen that I wasn't in the States and it's only for the US. And for somehow it worked in Mexico. I don't know why. And then our business travel to stay sane. It's so hard to like promote a business when you have an Instagram full of friends, and your biggest supporters aren't really going to be your friends. It's going to be like your fans, I guess, is what I hear.
Mm,
And I have like we had like a few people that I know buying consistently, but we need like a bigger scale to actually be successful in our business. So um right now it makes small money. Like you might get a sale every once in a while, but that's why we're trying to get our clothes and like put our life into branding it. We do cool shit all the fucking time. Like Costa Rica is wild and we have a bunch of wild experiences, but I mean it's still beautiful, and like travel to stay sane. I mean, that's what it resembles, is like life on the beach, like going to a different country and being in the culture, trying different food. We're vegan, so we try only vegan food, but like traveling is everything to me and to my girlfriend and to anybody who's on board. So eventually I can say this with 100% fact, like that business is going to be $1 million business. Just the name alone, we just got to get it going right. And I just got to find a way to push it. I'm 100% confident that it's going to work, but it needed time to find good quality. And then again, it's going to be a marketing game, but TikTok shows that you can really get it. You can really put it on and free advertise like through TikTok
have you
just by
gained?
doing catchy shit.
Yeah. Have you gained some kind of following on social media or TikTok?
TikTok, so right before Costa Rica, actually in Costa Rica, I stopped using TikTok because again, we got robbed by a guy who seen me on TikTok. And so I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like we got a video that got, I want to say like, it's not a lot. It's not like a million. It was like 80,000 views. And it was like the story of how I fucked up my bus. But it was like centralized in Costa Rica. And Costa Rica only has 5 million people. So people knew, like people
Yeah.
recognized us, which was crazy. And yeah, I stopped posting because um I already like I knew the potential of TikTok, and I was starting to feel like growth. I would put a video up, it would get a lot of views for a small channel. And after the guy robbed us, I kind of got scared to use social media because I don't want people to know where I'm at. Because here they'll take advantage of you. But I think that once we get our clothes, we're gonna have our travel brand TikTok fully dedicated to making really catchy videos, but like really cinematic. And I'm hoping that I don't need to show a location, like an exact location where people know where I'm at. And I'm hoping that will pick up because all we have like 3 channels and they were all starting to do really good right before shit got weird here.
Mm,
So yeah, especially like my girlfriend's channel, she was starting to like post something, get like 30,000, post something, maybe get like 60,000. Like, so her channel, like all we were trying to grow all of our channels and try to get into the influencing game.
wow, that's pretty huge,
Yeah,
man. Did you get to the point
trying.
where did you make a single dollar yet off of that, or is it still in the
Well,
preliminaries?
my channel was more just like a comedy of van life, and then my girlfriend's channel was more just um I don't know, like like a influencer style, like showing Costa Rica. At
Mm-hmm.
this time, we just wanted to grow because eventually, if we grow it big enough, then we can monetize it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And then our business TikTok, we never got to sell through TikTok. It was more like an Instagram post, and then our friends would buy. And then like if you're a clothing brand, you have Etsy, and you can try to sell that way, but you really got to know how to work Etsy to make some money. But now we got into like content creation where you find companies. For us in our situation, it has to be an app-based company where you can produce a video for them and make money. Like we're working for a fitness app and we show us using the app and we send them a video of us using their app and we are making money. Small,
Really?
like, yeah, you gotta get, the gigs are so like scarce, but we produced a really good video and got a lot of good feedback. So once we get the ball rolling and we can get consistent gigs, I think we'll be in a whole lot better shape.
That's awesome. That's really
Right now,
cool.
it's like, yo, online money is it. Like, I never want to go back to the States, and it's just my opinion, but like, I just like life is so beautiful outside the States, and traveling is like the lifestyle that we want. So online money is it only. I don't want to have to be somewhere working to save up
Yeah,
money to leave again. Like, no, I'm staying abroad.
100%. Like how long you guys think you'll just live out in Central America for a long time kind of thing?
Uh, well, here's the interesting topic. Probably Mexico might be it for a little bit. It might be the home base because you don't need the vaccine.
Mm,
we we've been traveling so long that we didn't the vax like literally 2020 of August I was gone and it hasn't been a topic and I was able to drive through all of Central America without any um thought of needing it, right? Like I was in
sure.
my own little bubble. We we're not in the club turning it up, right? We're just like living on the beach, trying to find ways to hustle. Like it's like literally we've been working on our business, trying to make it right for a year, like trying to make
Wow.
our clothing brand. Yeah, and it was hard because you're searching for the right quality. You pay for the sample. It takes time to get the sample, and then you realize the sample sucks. You're like, what the fuck? So you're always trying to like. That's why I feel like when the time is right, our business is gonna work. But now with not being vaccinated, like you realize travel is gonna be fucking hard for us specifically, and it's just we're waiting. And when the time is right, we'll get the vaccine. But right now, we're just gonna stay like low key and travel where we can. And Mexico is it.
Is there any restrictions? I know some of the like Central American countries were had restrictions, but then some of them didn't, right?
Random ones like Guatemala, you need the.
Guatemala does. How did you get in?
We went before they needed that. All you needed
Oh,
was we passed Guatemala May of last year,
gotcha.
and yeah, you didn't need that. And soon, once we do Panama, we planned on driving back, but we have a new plan on since we can't make it through those countries, we're just gonna sell this bus and then flip a schoolie back in the States and then live in Mexico. And then there, like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I haven't even told anyone. It's so funny that you're gonna really be the first one. None of my friends know. None of them know.
Awesome.
But we're gonna flip a schoolie, make Mexico like the home base for a little bit at least. And then if we have the funds, we're gonna drive South America.
Fire.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So are you guys kind of
Mhm.
trapped in like
Absolutely.
there's no you can't go either way because of the COVID stuff?
kind of like South America, like Colombia, where we wanted to go, you can't go. I think Peru's the same, Chile is the same. So eventually, at that time, we're gonna need something. But Mexico's so big, like alone, we can explore Mexico for a couple, like a half a year or a year without even
Sure.
being bored. Like it's so fucking huge. It's beautiful too. So you can't get bored of it.
Damn. This
Yeah.
guy's got an adventure coming up.
Oh, I
So
mean, we're gonna see Australia, like
you're
Europe.
going to Australia. That's gonna be really hard to get to.
Oh no, not I'm back. Like we'll eventually figure out something. But like
Oh,
no, we want to see everywhere. Like I wish somebody would have put me on traveling when I was younger. Cause like now I'm like, damn, I'm a little bit older and I'm like, nah, why did I wait so long? Like there's so much to see. And like we're not waiting until we're 50 to do this shit.
sure.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have those ambitions, and I think a lot of people are fascinated by van life and the
Yeah.
ideal of travel. Like, how did you
Yeah.
guys actually make this thing happen? What
It
was the
was our only
sacrifice?
option.
Oh, what?
It was our only option. Like she's from Germany and she couldn't come into the States 2020 of um so my girlfriend was supposed to come to the States in like March of 2020, but of course March is when they shut
Yeah.
everything down. So the whole time we were kind of waiting, like, what are we gonna do? I was thinking about flying to Spain or whatever, so we can share my birthday together in August of 2020. But how it worked out was I had a van that I bought, and really I bought it for no reason. I didn't know what I wanted to start, like a little moving business with it, but it was one of those things that just never happened. I had a big vision, didn't do anything to make it happen. I was just like, all right, I have a fucking van. I have this big payment for a van I'm never gonna use. And then my girlfriend brought up the idea of like, we can just put a bed in it and then just drive around the States. That was before the lockdown. And then during the lockdown, I was like, all right, I might just put a bed in it. And then when they take away the restrictions, we can start traveling. Of course, we realized that the States aren't going to open and Mexico was the only place that was open. So I started to really convert the van. I started with the bed and I was like, oh no, like let's rip off the walls and the roof and like really build it. And it took like 6 months to do it. And during COVID, like COVID was not boring to me. I was like researching YouTube to how to build a van. I was building the van the whole time. And then yeah, when we found out, like the land borders were really tricky because the land borders closed in July of 2020, and then all of a sudden they were never closed. It was really weird. There was a lot of ambiguity on it, but the whole time I thought it was closed, it was really open. So in September I drove the van and to Mexico and we started our journey. But then we realized you can't take a financed vehicle into a different country without permission. And they didn't give me permission, but I went anyways. But I realized that we can't go to like Costa Rica or Panama with it because you need the title of the vehicle to cross each country. And if they don't give you permission, you can't do that shit. So I sold that van and made money. And like that was like, it just blew me away. I was like, I owed so much money on the van, yet I turned it into a home and made money. And then we bought our bus with it and then converted it with that money. So it all worked out.
And you bought the bus in Mexico?
No, I bought the bus in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you bought all of your this bus you're in that you bought in Costa Rica,
Yeah, I bought in Costa Rica.
how do you even do that? Like, how do you buy a
Uh,
car in a foreign country?
it's really easy actually. You just need to have a lawyer to like validate the purchase. So they need to see the transaction. Um they need to see your passport and they send you the title within like 3 weeks to a month. It's very easy, but you got to pay like a lot of tax. Like for the lawyer and the taxes and the vehicle, it was like $1,000. And then we bought the bus for like 5,000 or 5 or 6,000. I can't remember, but it was pretty cheap for a bus.
Is how does the like car prices compare to the United States? Is it
Everything's more expensive here.
really?
Yeah, the same car in the States is like 30% cheaper or something.
Jesus, man.
Everything, this is a bad place to be broke, that's for sure.
How is like the cost of living though? Is it lower?
It's expensive.
Really?
But like veggies are cheap. We're vegan, so we go crazy on the veggies, but everything is like US prices here, which is weird. It's probably why people are fucking robbing and shit, because the locals here don't get paid US wages, yet there's US prices for almost everything here. Like the cars here are ridiculously expensive. So I yeah, some things make sense, but also like with the crime here, the police, there's like no accountability. If they catch a criminal, they're letting them go in the next 2 days. Like we know so many people, so many crazy stories. Like that shit needs to be addressed because it's really beautiful here, and it's like a dope place to do van life if you can get away with not being robbed, or like if you have like a convoy and you got like a
Couple
like
muscular dudes.
yeah, you're chilling, but they might try you with that too.
Jesus, bro. So it sounds like.
Yeah,
So why are you guys going to Panama?
we want to finish Central America, and we want to get
Gotcha.
the
Get
hell
to the
out of
canal.
yeah, get to the Caribbean beaches are really nice, and why not? It's right. We're literally like 2 hours from it, and it's the end of the journey, really. So we made it this close.
My so my one of my buddies, he got married on Tuesday, and
Okay,
he flew out yesterday to Costa Rica. So he's in Costa Rica
Tuesday
right.
222
Yeah, 222. Yeah.
No way,
So he
that's
got
crazy.
so he's in Costa Rica right now, and he said I told him I was having a podcast with him, and he's like, "Yo, what should we do? We're here for like 8 days or something." Johnny,
Don't get
what are
robbed.
your like? What's your like bucket list Costa Rica?
um, damn. La Fortuna is really dope. They have like an amazing waterfall there. I forget the name, but if you're in La Fortuna, you're probably gonna look up like things to do. Boom, you'll find it. And then like you have to have the seasons right. Like the Pacific side is super nice right now. In the Caribbean, maybe there's a lot more rain going on, but the Caribbean side is really dope. Like Puerto Viejo is like a certain vibe. Like it's so awesome. It's like a mix of like Tulum, Mexico, and like everybody's riding bicycles. It's super dope.
Really?
But oh yeah, I
That's
mean they
pretty
have a
fire.
volcano here,
Oh,
like Mount Poas. That's near like if you fly into Costa Rica, you're probably flying into San Jose Airport, and it's like 2 hours up a steep ass hill. I have a crazy story about that, but that's just like I have so many long stories of like when shit went wrong in Costa Rica.
you
Like
can go for whenever you want, man.
we,
Enlighten us.
our battery was dead, or I think our battery, our starter was broken, and our batteries were fucked. Put it like that. So sometimes our bus would not start.
Oof.
We would have to roll start a heavy ass bus. So we would always kind of like park on a hill. You throw it in first, and then you jump start it.
Oh my
And
god.
I was just, and our bus was overheating. We were leaking oil, and we are on the top of this mountain. So I was like, fuck, like we just need to drive downhill and go to a mechanic. And on the way down the hill, Google Maps fucked us and took us
Oh.
up this one street where it was super skinny and the steepest hill I've ever seen. And like this bus has 5 speeds, but you only use like 4. You start in second gear. And we're going up this hill, and I didn't realize how steep it was gonna get. So we're going. I was like, all right, please don't be a big hill. Please don't be a big hill. And then it was like to the fucking moon. This hill went. And like I was in second, and this bus is slow as shit. Like we can only do like 50 miles an hour top. Like just put that in perspective. That is not fast at all. And so I go from second, and I try to like get it to first real quick, and the bus stalls. And
Oh.
like the street is like this, like you're going like straight up this. I'm trying to get the angle right. You're going straight up this hill, and then all of a sudden it turns. Well, we broke down right on the turn, and so
Oh.
we're fucking blocking all the traffic. And so I was trying to like, and when I said the hill's steep, I thought like the problem was the bus was turned off. So like you lose the power steering when the bus turns off.
Oh.
The brakes get really fucking hard when the bus is off. Like it was, I was genuinely scared. That was the first time where I'm like, yo, I'm probably gonna crash. Like I'm gonna accept it. And so like the bus, I'm pressing the brakes, trying to like put it in reverse and jump start it in reverse. and I press the brakes, and the brakes are like bricks. Like you're pushing it, but nothing's happened. So I pull the emergency brake, and the bus is skidding, and everything's flying everywhere. And cars, I'm telling cars like back the fuck up. I'm trying to like jump start it in reverse. People didn't want to move. And then this guy comes out the house, and he was bilingual. So he was trying to tell people like, yo, back up in Spanish. He's like, okay, you're good in English. And I try to jump start the bus, and the bus would start and die every time. And every time it would die, the brakes would get hard again. And I would pull the emergency brake, and then the bus is making all these chimes. I'm like, oh my God. And like, as the road, like we're on the turn, and I'm like trying to jump start it in reverse, and I'm coming off the turn, and the road's getting straight again. But there was one point where on the road, there's this cliff, and I wasn't able to turn the bus unless it's moving, because again, the bus is off. There's so much shit going on. Eventually, by the grace of God, the bus starts and does not turn off. Everybody's backing up out the way. And I just can't, like, I wish there was a video to show how fucking insane it was. Oh, and to put in perspective, again, tinted windows are hard to see out of, but it's raining this day. We don't have heater, so there's no defrost. So all the windows are frosted as shit. And so like I'm driving with my head out the window, trying to like manage all of this. It was like one of the scarier situations.
Oh my God.
Also, before that, like 2 weeks before that, maybe a week before that, we almost fell off a cliff.
What?
And that's on video. That's on video.
Wait, what?
Scariest. Yeah, so my girlfriend's friend joined us for like 3 weeks in van life. The worst experience ever.
Oh.
She went on Google and found a place where she's like, I want to go enjoy lunch at this lake. And when I pull up, I was like, do we need 4-wheel drive to get here? Because I was like, before we drive on this fucking road, I want to know. She's like, I think so. I think we're good. And we're driving down this hill. I'm like, oh my God, we're fucking gonna get stuck. I was already like driving the hill, and I was so worried about pleasing her. I didn't put my like intuition in front. And I was like, if it rains here, we're not getting out. Of course, while we're having lunch here, it starts raining. And so our bus is long enough to where I couldn't turn around on this little dirt road to see this fucking lake. So I had to reverse all the way back up again in the rain. There's no defrost. I can't see outside the window. So I'm like looking outside, driving in reverse. And we try to back up this hill. And when I say it's like this, and it's like muddy, and like when we went down, it was rocky. But the moment rain gets on it, it gets a little muddy and slippery. We're backing up. And as we're backing up, the bus starts sliding off the cliff.
Oh,
because I'm spinning the tires trying to get up the hill in reverse. And we start sliding. I was like, oh shit, this is terrible. This is terrible. And so I was like, let's just sleep here for the night. We drove back down the hill. We slept there. And I was like, let's wait. But once it stops raining in the morning, we leave. And of course, as it's raining where we're parked, the ground's getting softer and softer. So that morning, all I wanted to do was to back up just a little bit to get space to go up the hill. I backed up like this much. The bus starts sinking.
oh.
And I knew, I was like, we're not going to get out. And like, this is me normal. And this is how much the bus was tilted. So I was like, nah, it's going to get worse. So I find this taxi truck after an hour of like waving people in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like I need help. And he drives down this abandoned road to help us out. And he ties a rope to the front of our bus. And I looked at this rope. I was like, this shit is going to break. But I was like, fuck it, we need help. He pulls us out. And right as he pulls us out, the rope breaks and the bus starts sliding down the hill and it smacks 2 trees. And like at this point, I thought I was going to flip over, but I forgot like the trees saved us. If the trees were not there, this bus would be gone, like all the way down the hill. It's probably like 100-foot hill, but like this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And eventually this macho guy came in, helped us, yanked us out after like 5 attempts. And our bus came out, but our whole roof is bent in on one side. That was definitely one of the scariest moments ever, like while driving, because I had no control. Like that's why we need 4-wheel drive of some sort.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah, van life in Costa Rica was been like, we got our asses kicked, like left and right. It had like there's barely been moments of like, like things are going good, like something happened. So
interesting.
yeah.
One thing that I like did van life for a few months in the States.
Yeah.
One thing that I struggled with was I was alone, so it was like I was definitely lonely, and then it also started to feel aimless in a way because you're
Okay.
just kind of just moseying around, and you're kind of like, wait,
Yeah.
what's the real point here? How do you
Yeah.
guys how do you guys manage that? How do you guys manage like staying fulfilled while just like fucking around for years?
Yeah, I think it helps that we're actually traveling and seeing different shit. And like, I feel like van life would be different if you're in one area than like always doing something different. Like, I mean, you drive Baja California, there's so many places you can camp and see that you always have a to-do list. In mainland Mexico, there's waterfalls, there's fucking cenotes, there's everything. So you always have some sort of like highlight. But now that we're not traveling, I kind of can relate because we're just trying to aimlessly find a place to park. But honestly, at the same time, there's always like a highlight. Like we never been to, every place that we're going to is probably new. And so it's like always refreshing. But at the same time, we're not doing as many activities as we used to. And our goal is just to see as much as we can on a budget, and living in a vehicle is the cheapest way to travel all of Central America, because then we can sell this vehicle and get our money back. And
Mm,
it's basically like living for free accommodation. We have free electricity. Gas isn't free, but gas is so cheap on this bus, it's insane. And then what is it? Free water. Like everything is like free. And then we just got to get by and make our own food. So
yeah.
there's definitely a positive aspect, especially if you're traveling to travel, than to just live in a vehicle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um, what kind of misconceptions did you go into van life with that have maybe
Hmm.
been true or just completely changed?
Um, YouTube makes it seem so positive and like happy all the time. And there are videos that specify and showing like the reality of van life, but it's a lot of work. Like you don't have a home. Well, if you have a bus, it's different, but a van specifically, like you always need to do something before you go. Like we have a bunch of dishes right now. Like before you go, you need to have everything prepared and stowed away. You always need to like have an eye on how much water you have, because like we don't stay in camps, we boondock. So if you're fucking an hour away from a gas station, that's where we get free water. You always have to have like some sort of plan, like um the water, electricity. You kind of always need to have like the sun on your side. um it's just a lot of work, it can be, at least. And for me, it was, outside of my ball game in the beginning, I was just like so overwhelmed with, you're always busy, and that can take away from the relaxation. But once you get used to it, if you can, then it all makes sense in the end, I guess. I hope that answered that.
No, for sure, man.
Yeah.
I guess like what makes it all worth it at the end of the day?
That we can that you can always make a new location your home. So if you get tired of a place, you're not stuck. You just like, all right, I'm tired of being in the mountains. I want to go to the beach. You can actually live there. You don't have to go to the beach, and then like, yeah, wherever you are, it's home. So I mean, that's like the beautiful part of van life, is wherever you go, that's it. You always have your home with you. And again, how we're traveling, we're always seeing something new. So there's always some sort of highlight coming.
Gotcha. And then
Especially with Costa Rica, there's so many waterfalls to go to, and yeah, there's always something to do here.
yeah, I mean Central America just seems like another world, just like
It is.
just completely different than anything I've ever
Yeah,
seen before. So, I mean, that seems pretty
yeah,
awesome. But
yeah.
what's your biggest goal right now? Like where's this all going? Like where are we aiming towards right now?
Full-time content creator. Like we're taking a course on how powerful like being a creator is, and like I've always wanted that. And like I always see myself as like some sort of influencer. Like eventually, I want to be into flying and do crazy shit. Like I for sure want to fly around the world. That's like so far out of reach right now, but it can happen and plenty of people do it. And I love aviation, so something like that. But like me and my girlfriend want to be, so we're vegan, and so my girlfriend wants to be influenced, like, you know, the power of like travel and being like eco-conscious. Like you don't necessarily need to eat meat. There's a better way of going about many things. Um me okay, well, so that was her. Me, I guess van life, and I we're both travelers. So at the end of the day, if we can influence traveling and get like sponsorships to do like cool videos at cool locations, like that's like the goal. And then to represent our travel brand, because again, if we're going to be travel influencers, why not show our brand that is exactly who we are and travel to stay sane. And then, I mean, I still love music. I just need to figure out like my lane to pump it out, because I do it for me. Like I like to hear like cool creations that me and John can come up with, because like we are we're a really good team. I just don't want to be like a rapper, if that makes sense. Like going to the little shows and doing these gigs that I don't know. I just want people to hear it through different sources, like really trying to see if TikTok can make the music go. I don't know what, like I love music, but I don't know how I need to go about it, because it's not going to be the route that everyone wants me to. So
I mean,
maybe put a studio on the bus. Maybe put a studio on the bus.
do it. Bring
Yeah.
Johnny.
I'm trying to get him out here, but he's too scared.
Scared? What the heck,
Yeah.
man?
He needs to get one of these.
How is
Yeah.
so I actually am vegan also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How does that limit like the culinary experience of like a country? If like like a lot of countries they eat meat and
That's
like animal
true.
products, like how do you get as much of an experience being there while being limited in a way?
I wish my girlfriend was in here. She just was reading an article on how culinary experiences aren't all based on meat. It's more about like the seasoning and um what is it? I'm a little off on this topic. I wish she can come in here and answer it. But culinary experience is not just based on meat. Like, of course, you can go to Mexico and have carne asada al pastor, okay? But you can still have a fire vegan taco with like Latin seasonings and like the the tradition behind that. Like you can make it still fire. Like for example, in Costa Rica, we just had gallo pinto. That's their traditional dish, which is just usually it's just rice, beans, pico de gallo, and a plantain. Now you can always add meat to it, but the traditional dish doesn't have meat in it.
Mm.
So then we kill that shit every like twice a week. It's so fire. So it doesn't, the only thing that makes it difficult is like as a vegan, your dining out options are so limited. But I can say this about Costa Rica: it has the most fire vegan food I've ever tasted in my life. That's for
Really?
sure. Facts. Like especially the capital, or like San Jose, Costa Rica has the best vegan food I've ever tasted in my life.
Oh my God. Like
The
at
juiciest
restaurants,
burger.
or
Yeah.
do you have
The
anything
juiciest burger. Like the names:
particular one? Yeah, give me like one.
Arbol de Seda or something like that. It's, if you just type in ARBOLDE, I think it's SEDA, de Seda. It's the best vegan food I've ever had. And then there's another one called Gia Pastry, and they're a pastry shop, but their food is so fire. And then they specialize in like cakes and desserts, but their food is amazing too.
And that's in San Jose, Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's pretty
I'll
consistent
make a
that the
trip.
vegan food Yeah. If you go, take your electronics, don't leave it in the car, don't leave it on the beach, take it with you, you'll be solid. And the food is just so fire.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. It's the one plus side.
Sweet. I guess I guess I have one more thing, and this is like a more of a outside world kind of thing, but I just wanted to take into account because it's kind of a big day. February 24th,
Yeah.
2022,
Okay.
Russia fully invades Poland. Um, I feel like
I
it'd be
almost had a
weird.
feeling you I almost had a feeling you're gonna ask. I just watched the video on it, but
I
keep
mean,
going.
I just like, I feel irresponsible as some type of journalist to not bring it up in a way, because it's like, this is a monumental day in world
Yeah.
history. I don't
Can you
know.
elaborate? Because again, I live like a quiet life. Like I
Yeah,
barely. This is again, we don't usually park at campgrounds, but since we just got attacked a week ago, like we're trying to stay safe where we have Wi-Fi.
sure.
I just been catching up on a whole bunch of shit, and then to see that Russia send, I think they're not even claiming that it's their military. I think they're claiming that it's their peacemakers going into Ukraine, and then I guess what did they bomb them? I don't know what exactly happened.
So, I mean, it's worse than that.
Oh,
So there's a lot going on. So Putin has been building up troops on the Ukrainian border,
yeah,
Ukraine borders, so like the edge of Russia and then Ukraine and then like the rest of Europe, to like towards
yeah,
like France and
Poland and all that.
Germany
Yeah,
and everything like that. So they've been building up troops. They built up 175 troops along the border over the past couple months. And then, everything was kind of building towards some kind of
yeah,
event, right? And all the world leaders, or a lot of the world leaders, like from Germany and France and even United States, are meeting in Moscow with Putin, or like trying to get some kind of diplomacy. And he's kind of stuck.
damn.
He's like, nah, I'm gonna do my thing. And basically on a Monday, Putin had like an hour-long speech that he gave to like Russia and the world about why he's about to invade. And he kind of credited too that he's going to reestablish the Soviet Union in a way.
What
And
the
that,
fuck?
yeah, and that all of the sovereign nations now that were used to be in the Soviet Union are wrongfully that. And he made up a bunch of like semi-historical facts about why we have the complete right to take back everything. And then
Wow.
um Tuesday, they kind of started to like cross the border, and then last night they just like full on attack. And so
Jesus.
yeah, so there's the very very eastern edge of Ukraine, like what's the closest border to Russia, is what people thought they would take, because
Yeah,
they had taken something somewhere similar called Crimea in
yeah.
2014. So they thought they would take something about the size of that, but no. Um, they've bombed like every part of Ukraine just in like the
Oh my
last
God.
24 hours. Like every major city in Ukraine has been bombed at, basically.
Even Kiev?
Yes, they are they took an airport base like 15 miles from the capital, like the city center of the capital.
So I have a question for you. What do you think this means? Because I'm already like scared that Russia and if US gets involved, you just could be big.
It could be really big. So the thing is that Ukraine is not a part of NATO, and so NATO is a pact amongst a lot of the Western world, United
Yeah,
States, Canada, France, Germany. So like a lot of Western Europe, United States especially, are in this. And the thing is that Ukraine is not, and Russia likes that Ukraine is not, because it means
yeah,
that we're gonna have no teeth when we
yeah,
if Russia invades, because we don't really have to have any teeth. But
right.
if Russia invades any other country basically closer, because um I could even pull up a map or something so I give you the right thing, but
Yeah.
basically every country west of where Russia is right now is a NATO country. And
Yeah.
so we're talking like Poland's NATO, Lithuania's NATO, Latvia's NATO, a NATO, Estonia's NATO. And so like if they go any bit further, they're
Yeah.
going to go into a NATO country in which there's a pact amongst all NATO countries that an attack on one is an attack on all. So
Right.
that would mean like it could be World War III kind of thing.
I always had this thought like World War III could potentially be the end of many things.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the sanity of Putin right now is questionable for sure. And who knows, man.
Yeah.
It's just the thing that really gives Russia the upper hand is the energy situation. So there's like three main players in oil, and United
Okay.
States is the biggest. Russia's right up there with Saudi Arabia is like 2 and 3. And
Wow.
so, but Europe gets a large section of its oil and gas from Russia directly because
Oh.
they don't like to, mine it within their own country, and they don't have as big of reserves, and they're
Yeah.
trying to go green, right? So like Western Europe is very like progressive. We're trying to go green, but the problem is they have like a very high reliance on Russia. So Russia can start a war with just turning off the tap, basically. And so
Jesus
they're not
Christ.
gonna. So like, I was actually talking to somebody yesterday or 2 days ago that was in the oil industry, and he said, yeah, Russia could double the price of oil by turning off, which would
And
be
gas is expensive in Europe already.
it's like 6x like America, which is
Jesus.
ridiculous. Like to get
Yeah.
like to fill up a tank of gas, I think it's like $25 a gallon in like Denmark, kind of
That
thing.
makes no sense. I'm hitting the bicycle all day.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit easier because their country is so small and they do have good pedestrian stuff, but like it's gonna affect America because America gets a significant amount of oil from Russia also that we ship in. Like I'm pretty
That's
sure New
insane.
York and California are on that system because they don't want to
Wow.
mine it within their own
Of
state because it's
course.
like dirty and gross.
Yeah.
So they're getting shipped in, and then you know, you cause that reliance, and then if this shit happens, some people have an upper hand, and it's really
So
tough there. Yeah.
how do you think potentially it could end?
Like how do you think this thing's gonna shape out?
Yeah. I'm just
I mean,
curious on
I
your
don't know.
thoughts.
It's all up in the air right now because Biden just spoke on it. I watched that. That was like 2 hours ago or something. But
Yeah.
so basically we've put in a bunch of sanctions on Russia along with a lot of the other European countries. And so like we're cutting out a lot of our trade with them, and we're blocking a significant portion of their banks, and they're freezing a lot of their money that's in United States banks or in Western European banks. So they
Yeah.
don't have access to it. But Putin
They
knew
don't
this was
care.
coming. And
Yeah.
so he took a lot of Russian Russian currency basically and transferred into like gold, like things that don't
Wow.
are like independent of currency. So if
Yeah.
they crush their entire economy, he still has gold, and just
Wow.
madness, man. And it's just like a sacrifice of life for
Jesus.
I
For
saw a funny
power.
thing was like, yeah, Russia's invading Ukraine right now because a bunch of men didn't want to go to therapy.
Damn. I'm weak. I'm weak. Yo, Russia's crazy.
Yeah,
Russia's
dude.
crazy. It's really scary. And again, I'm kind of tuned out of it, but I mean, it's all over my phone. Like I kind of stick to YouTube news or whatever.
Sure.
And it's just Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. You see a bombing of a vehicle or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
this could get
terrifying, dude.
serious. This could get serious because I already know the United States gets involved. Russia, United States. I mean, I heard this fact. I know I believe it's only 8 nuclear bombs have the power to destroy the world. and it's not just about the effect on the ground, because obviously to destroy a whole country like the United States, 8 would not technically destroy all the land, but it's the what comes next, like the nuclear winter, right? All the
Mm,
ash and the global warming that would come from that. So I think I was watching like Windover, and it was like a about an estimate of like 8 nuclear bombs, and there's over, I think, hundreds of them, like nuclear torpedoes.
yeah.
And to like finish off, I know one thing. I was watching Russians Arsenal a couple of years ago, and this isn't the exact name, but they nicknamed it the Meow, something like that, where it's one of the first torpedoes to be supersonic within like a second. Like when it
Oh,
launches, you can't see it. Usually, like the torpedoes I've seen from the US are like they launch the big pillow of smoke and then they build speed and then they're moving, right? This
yeah.
shit is fucking supersonic where you can't see it and it sounds like a meow when it launches. Like it's insane. And the fact that they can load a nuclear head on that is scary. And on top of that, the fact that the US claims right now, the US doesn't, the government or the military doesn't say give away all of its cards, right? But I was watching a documentary, and they were saying that they have missiles to counteract nuclear warheads or even missiles in general, but it's like a 50% accuracy of actually taking them out.
Oh man.
And that's really scary. So,
And I don't think we would want to bet on that, man.
no, 50%. Come on now.
50% is not that good, man.
Uh,
Like it's crazy because I like like a year ago, like you hear talks of this, it feels weirdly like World War II was happening, like if you remember just like history class, like
yeah,
weird little power moves to grab small chunks of land that they thought were rightfully theirs, and then all of a sudden boom. And I was
yeah,
like, I never thought the boom would really come, like at least in the next generation. And then just boom, just in the past couple months, it's just been such an escalation, and then like
yeah.
a legitimate full-blown attack of an entire sovereign country, like entire
Jesus.
sovereign state. It's just crazy. And I don't
No
know,
draft
man.
here.
Yeah, like i I don't think we'll go into a draft, I don't, or anything, but like that would be scary. Like,
I'm in Costa Rica. I don't know what's going on back
yeah,
there.
I didn't even know a war was happening.
What's going on? No,
Nah,
I
bro.
hope. I don't know what to expect. I don't have enough insight to give like crazy feedback, but I just hope that I don't know. Russia scares me, and I know they're gonna make a power move, and I just hope we can find a way to peacefully resolve. But I just know the U.S. has a macho mentality, and so does Russia. So I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Two
Two world
two buff dudes
powers.
trying to do some weightlifting is what it looks like.
Yeah, and then I mean, then
It's
you have another player in China, and like, where are they gonna fall in? Because they
oh,
have
they're gonna do some
alliance,
sneak shit.
dude. Because
They're
they
gonna
have
do some
alliance with like Russia and United States, kind of, but like
yeah,
neither
no,
also.
yeah, they're gonna do some sneak shit. All right, that's what I'm more worried about.
That's what I'm
Don't
I'm
sleep on them.
betting on that, because
Yeah,
they there was a pact between, I think it's called the C7 or something like that. It's a like a group of like the 7 most powerful countries, kind of.
okay.
But I'm pretty sure China's in that, and the United States is in that. But China said that, or no, is it China? It might be, I might be misspeaking, it might be Japan. But, and I'm sorry. Anyways, like a bunch
Yeah,
of current countries are pulling their currency so it can't be like traded with Russian money and like weird
wow.
shit like that. And like, where's China gonna fall into that? Like what side are they gonna pick? Because they do
They're
have
not gonna
some.
pick our side.
That's probably true, but they're probably gonna pretend like, oh, we're kind of gonna like, because I remember
Yeah.
I saw something with some of the higher ups in the Chinese government were like, oh no, Russia is doing a bad thing, like this is not good. And I'm like, bro, like,
Yeah, quit
like
lying.
Putin and him are like,
Are
you guys are
cool.
hanging out, you guys are like,
Uh-huh.
you guys are
Ki-
vibing, man.
and Kim Jong Un is just like, all right,
He's like,
when y'all
okay.
wipe each other out, I'm coming in. He's gonna be that guy, do some funny shit. Yo,
Dude,
damn.
it's a mad time. Like it's
It's
just
a good time to live
crazy.
in the Good time to live in a bus in the middle of nowhere.
It is a good time to live. Dude, I'm literally like, I'm
You
just
can
like starting to
podcast
from
from a
anywhere.
van. Yeah.
I do. I mean, I have a van. I don't know if it might make it all the way down there. But
Honestly, everyone through Central America can fix your event. That's what besides our bus, that one particular weird vehicle, they can fix anything out here. Just put a couple rubber bands on it, whatever it is, they'll figure it out.
they'll figure it out. Damn,
Uh-huh.
bro. Yeah, maybe.
Damn.
I mean, dude, if shit hits the fan, it's gonna be absolute madness. Like, could you
Let me make a
imagine?
joke. Let me
Go
make
for
a
it.
joke. Shit is hitting the fan. It's just like right now. Shit is literally blowing.
It
So
just, I just
yeah,
can't imagine. Like, could you imagine? Like, what would happen if it was like, yeah, we're going to war with Russia? Like, what would there be the reaction here would be so bullshit. Like, it would be like, it's so
yeah,
divisive, so much
yeah,
like, no, I don't want to, or like, like, like it would just, I don't know. I think we would go into like we couldn't even handle COVID, bro.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
threat of COVID compared to the threat of World War III is not even
yeah.
in the same realm.
World War III is only going to end with a nuclear battle. I can say that in my opinion. This is only my opinion, and again, I don't know everything, but I remember having a conversation. I was like, World War III, there's just too many nuclear holders around, especially like Russia, China. Come on now, like it does not end nicely. It just needs to end with like some sort of treaty or whatever, because everybody knows they have the power to end everything. So let's all just talk it out. There's too many people in this world. There's too many
Yeah, it's
people.
just like too
Mm,
selfish, man. But
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of people that they just don't. Doesn't matter. Doesn't
there's a
matter,
lot
man.
of people that like video games that think this is one. But I know one thing. I'm about to keep my remote control and like select Y and stay in Costa Rica over going back to the States because I'm not going to war.
Yeah, no, that
I'll
sounds
be
like
the
a
first
bad
one off
plan.
the plane. I'll be the first one to get hit. Boop.
Boop.
Like, nope. Yeah. No way. I'm not cut out.
There's a pretty famous I think it's Albert Einstein quote, kind of going off your point, that is he said he lived like a century ago, but he was like, I don't know what World War III will be fought with, but I know World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Damn. Because there ain't gonna be nothing left.
Ain't gonna be nothing left, man.
I'll throw a tomato at somebody. Grab whatever I can find.
Yeah. And dude, this is
Yeah.
like why, like, dude, if there were fucking aliens, do you think they'd be like, I don't
I think
know.
that would interfere.
You think they would interfere, or would they just be like, these fuckers are so damn stupid, they can't even not bomb themselves into in existence. Why would we
Yeah.
even deal with that shit?
They might just pull up right after, like, yo, we got a new Earth.
Oh, we got this. Oh, this looks nice.
Yeah. They're just chilling. They're going. I feel like there might be some people out there that might really try to interfere in a good manner. I'm a little alien believer. I feel like there's the good, the bad, in the middle. I remember watching, I forget what it is, but a military general pointed really drunkly at the star, and he was like, "I'm not allowed to tell you some shit like this," but he's like, "There are the Nordic blondes, there are the grays, and then I forget what other the name was for the third part, but the Nordic blondes are like the peacekeepers, and then there's the grays that are bad. I guess they look like a mixture of half human, and then there's another one that look like fucking aliens. And there's just too much movement in space going on to believe that we're the only ones, regardless of what is actually out there. So there's people are watching. I feel like that.
Just like, I've always thought how just ridiculous it would be, like, if aliens just were like, yo, what's up, boys?
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
like right now we're fighting between countries, but if we got into a situation in which it was like humanity versus alien, like, would
We're
we finally
toast.
unite? Would we finally be
I,
like, yo, guys, there's like this other thing, like, we're
yeah,
humans, they're not, like, are we gonna fight them
yeah.
now? Like,
I feel like if they can come here without us knowing, I guess, or catch us all, we're toast.
we're toast.
If
If they can
if
get
that's
here, dude, we're toast.
yeah,
They're like
we
just
can't
so
get
much
there.
better.
They could just pull up, tear shit up, and then dip back to wherever the fuck they are, and we wouldn't even know how to get there. We get there in like
We wouldn't
800
even know they
years.
were here. They'd be like, why the fuck? Who set off an atomic bomb in Colorado? But it was actually just some alien that was just chilling. Like, let me fuck with them.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on. I'm a full believer. That's a good way to wrap up a interview, is
on some crazy alien shit. Yeah,
some crazy alien shit.
No,
Damn.
for sure. Yeah,
I just hope things pan out and eventually we'll be okay. That's all I hope for.
I think everyone hopes that, but
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Michael. It's been a absolute pleasure. You got some ridiculous stories. I'm sure you only get more as the time goes on, but yeah.
I was about to say, check in next month. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, keep in touch, man. It's been
definitely
awesome.